Hey folks, well, I've started the rigging on the Wingnut Wings Roland D.VI. I haven't had a nervous breakdown yet, but it might be close. I better start out with the positive stuff. First of all, I love this new rigging line that I got from Japan, model Kasten, and I used it a little bit with some control lines on a Newport 17. Worked very well, but this is the full-fledged thing, rigging throughout. The wings, the tailplane, the landing gear, control lines, bracing wire for the Roland. If I remember my count, 56 pieces of line, 50, or would that be right? 56 connection points, 28 pieces of line. Okay, still a lot of stuff to do. So I like this stuff. Now the process is pretty straightforward. This little line, first step is to thread an end of it through these tiny little bits of brass tube, 0.4 millimeter inner diameter from a longer tube that I filed, and just give it a little quick file scoring across the tube, bend it, snaps off, and that's going to be the piece that locks in the line to an anchor point or a turnbuckle, okay? Then you thread the end of the line through the turnbuckle eyelet or anchor point eyelet, bring it around, bring the thread back through the brass tube. That's really tricky, or it is for me. Pull it taut and secure it with a little bit of CA glue, very carefully. I'm using a fairly thick CA glue. The runny stuff is just too dangerous in my mind. You gotta have something that isn't gonna splatter all over the place, and let it set and then snip the line accordingly. Now, I'm using gas patch turnbuckles and anchor points. The longer turnbuckles on the bottoms of the wing. There's two there, two over there. The underside of the top of the wing will have just anchor points, very short little eyelets, as will perhaps some of the places on the fuselage. And slowly making my way through. You can see that there are lines dangling here from the upper wing. All of those represent where I have secured this line through the anchor point eyelet and through the necessary linchpin, the brass tubing. And I'm going nuts because my hand is fairly steady, but I can hardly see what I'm doing. I can't imagine trying to do this, attach it under the wing with the wing on the airplane. So that's why I'm doing them top wing detached. That'll then be put on. Should be able to, based on past experience, get in and attach the opposite ends as required to the fuselage, up by the cabane struts, or to the lower wing. But it's painstakingly slow because even with magnifiers on, I'm just having a dickens of a time. The eyelets aren't so bad. It's basically doing the thread through there. Actually, the first part's not bad, but bringing it back through, given my problems with seeing tiny things close up, even with good magnifiers, is a real challenge. Okay, I've probably said that about 6 times now. I think this whole rigging process, 56 contact points, 28 lines, is probably going to take about 4 or 5 days, because I find that my patience and almost desire to toss toss the wing or the airplane out the window because I can't see what I'm doing. Sort of gets to near the breaking point after doing a couple of lines. But it's going to get done. The good news is I am 99% sure that once I get all of that finished on the top wing, I'm going to get all the, I've got a few more anchor points to put in on the fuselage down here and also on the lower wing, not long turnbuckles, that the top wing will go on relatively smoothly. But then I've got to hook everything up. Hopefully that water pipe will fit properly underneath. It's a double line. Okay, that pipe goes into the back of the radiator on the wing, and then another pipe flows back out from the top of the wing, the radiator, back down to the front. But that goes on after, of course, the wing is in place. Okay, getting there. Really fiddly stuff. You know, the actual elapsed time, if you can actually thread stuff through, in theory, maybe a minute or two per line. I don't even want to tell you how long it's taking me. Maybe less time if I weren't bitching and moaning about it. I have no problem with the materials. I knew it was going to be tiny stuff. I'm just having to deal with my handicap. 7th or 8th time I've mentioned that. Okay. Thanks for watching, folks.